Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the WCG qualifiers for the Ukraine. This is Strelok versus White-Ra. Very interesting and exciting matchup between my probably all-time favorite player from the foreign scene, Strelok, and White-Ra. Very smart and talented player. And already White-Ra sending out a probe to... by the way, this is Bluestorm, so this is the cheese map in TVP. The probe going out to cheese Strelok straight away, so we'll take a close look at where he decides to put down his pylon. Maybe in the top left corner of Strelok's base, but Terrans usually scout that. Or maybe above the ramp. Looks like he's hitting there now. Not quite above the ramp. No, he's going straight over to the mineral-only patch. And this is, yeah, typical place. There goes the pylon there. So sneaky stuff there by White-Ra. And surely Strelok must be expecting some kind of cheese on this particular map. He's putting that supply depot down, so he'll have a wall going down. So I'm sure, unless that probe gets there in time to block off the barracks, he should be able to get the wall in the way. Wow, exciting opener. Here's the gate now. All right, and the probe heading down the ramp. Is it no? Okay, so there's a barracks going down to complete the wall. Strelok's got this wall prepared by the looks. He's not. Oh, is he going to spot the gateway? I'm not sure if the. I don't think the SCV actually came within range of that gateway at all. He just headed to the top of the ramp there, just to expect White-Ra to have built maybe a proxy at the top of the ramp. But White-Ra being clever and actually putting the expansion buildings, the proxy buildings, a bit further away than that. And Strelok seems to have missed that entirely. And here's the first Zealot being produced. The Zealots won't be able to fit through the wall, but I'm just wondering whether maybe White-Ra has a particular plan in mind. He's not got any buildings back at his home base, still producing probes like mad. But we'll have to see. I can't think of any way that White-Ra could break through the wall unless, a forge. So what he's going to be doing here is attacking with Zealots and building photon cannons just outside of Strelok's wall. Strelok will be forced to lift off with the barracks or try to get siege tanks in very quickly. And there's the pylon going down. So there's the hand laid down. The Marine's skimming around the... kills the probe, managed to break his way through. So that's fortunate they've got the Marine inside. The Marine can now shoot at the Zealot with the Zealot chasing through because the pathing is such in those building positions that the Zealot can't actually break through the gap. Wow. Okay, so and with the probe gone, White-Ra of course has to bring through a complete new probe to get the photon cannons down. So luckily, Strelok has bought himself some time here to really take up to something that he needs to stop this. And yeah, Marine just trying to be annoying to that Zealot there. So factory going down. The factory. It's not too close to the wall, so I think it'll be okay there. Here's the first photon cannon. And another photon cannon going down, so those are both going to be in range of the buildings, of course, and they're going to be fairly far away. They're not going to be able to be shot at by the Marines while they're warping in. And the Zealots will see to it that the Marines don't leave their little wall position. And Strelok going straight away for a Vulture, and that surprises me a little bit. Because I would have, in this position, I would have gone straight for tanks. But I guess, now that I think about it, the reason for him going for Vultures, and you see those little Zealots dancing around in anticipation of the Marine popping out to the southern side of the barracks. But yeah, the reason for getting the Vultures is because he knew he was going to have to lift off that barracks very quickly, and it would take ages to get the tank, and he needs the Vultures just in case the Zealots try to enter the base after the barracks has been lifted off. So quite clever play there by Strelok. He's got a second Vulture now, and those Vultures, yeah, the Vultures will do a lot better job compared to a tank in preventing the Zealots from running into the base. So things look okay for Strelok here. He's surviving, and I have every hope that he will be able to break out of this and bring justice to the cheesy Protoss. Protoss scum. Hate it when they do this. Terrible map for it as well, for the Terran. But of course, having said that, later in the game, if it works out into a standard game and both players have got both sides of the map, then the Terrans usually have a bit of an advantage in this map. So long as they can keep the Arbiters and Carriers at bay, I mean that's the only real problem for them later in the game on this map. So just something to keep in mind. White Ra putting down a cautious photon cannon at his home base, just worried that Strelok will get Vultures out somehow and attack his base, his probes. I mean, I guess he's worried that maybe Strelok had proxied another factory somewhere on the map, which would have been a pretty good idea against this kind of strategy. Strelok has not done that, but White Ra playing it safe, getting a photon cannon in space just in case that was going to happen. Here's the first tank now. That tank, sooner or later, will be ready to siege up and start shelling those photon cannons. Should be able to work his way out of this mess, but we've got Dragoons being produced, and there's the siege up now. Zealots look like they're going to be attacking. Yeah, Zealots rushing in now, going straight for, no, not the tank. The Dragoons go for the tank. The second tank's arrived. That tank's taking a lot of hits. Is it going to go down? I'm sure it is. Yes, there's the tank. But all of White Ra's forces have been taken out. It was a bit of a violent battle there, but another tank has been produced. It's sieged up and is ready to start shelling those photon gunners again. So, oh, and here comes two Dragoons desperately trying to take out this tank. And, oh, they're rushing straight into range. Tanks having to unsiege, taking a lot of fire here. I think these Dragoons are going to be able to do it. And yes, the Dragoons have taken it out. No mines yet from Strelok. So, yeah, and that bunker doesn't appear to have that many Marines in it, if any. So, Strelok's forced here to take SCVs off the line just to defend. He's got a single tank up and running. The SCV's blocking the Dragoons from attacking the tank. And he's safe again for now. But Strelok having to be very cautious here. Alright, so we've still got a single photon cannon left at the natural. Tanks moving back further into the inner sanctum of the base to set up a good position where he's in range of just about everything, including the entrance. Citadel of Dun going down for White Ra. Strelok's already anticipated this. It's very typical of Protoss players in this sort of situation. Goes for Dark Templars, and he's preparing well in advance with turrets. Dragoons inside Strelok's base at this point, shooting things, but he's lost two of them. He's got two left, and that tank's seeing to it that the Dragoons can't do too much damage. And White Ra really just committing to an all-in, very much so, with the 3 gateways and forwards right outside Strelok's base. He's not continuing to build gateways back at his home base. I mean, to do so would mean they would have a further run to get to Strelok. But, of course, if this doesn't work, and if White Ra doesn't totally finish Strelok off here, Strelok's going to be able to come around and kill that forge, kill all the pylons, kill all the gateways, and White Ra will be forced to rebuild everything in his base. So, White Ra's really got to try and put the pressure on here, and with Strelok left with only a single tank, White Ra does have options. So we'll see how that works out. But, yeah. Bit of a skirmish there. Tank dancing around and picking off a few shots at those Dragoons. He's got his second factory completed now, and I think mines being researched. Wouldn't really be going for iron thrust at this point, so mine's a good idea to prevent the surge of Protoss units from rushing into Strelok's base here. 4th gateway going down. So, as I mentioned with the all-in, White Ra is really just pulling out stops here. He's trying everything he can. And whereabouts is this tank going to siege up? Right there. So that tank's going to be in range of the buildings. White Ra knows it. He's rushing in. Mines are going to go off here. Oh my god, dragging the mine straight into the tank. That's another tank gone down. Strelok again left with only the single tank back at his home base. I'm glad he didn't bring that out. So, again, just Strelok playing very carefully here. I mean, this game is a very low economy game. And probably will continue to be low economy for a little while yet. And there's a 3rd factory supported only by 1 base. So, very unusual game, and that's what I'm loving about it so far, is that we get to see these players in an unusual situation and just see whose decision-making is best. And both of these guys are very, very smart players. And White Ra going for that tank, which is kept in safety in the middle of the base. Zealots, of course, aren't speed upgraded yet. Even though he's got the Citadel of Adon, he's probably going for Dark Templars as we speak, but that Zealot being surrounded by SCVs and taken out. Strelok does not have a tank at this point at all, trying to lay mines to prevent more Zealots from heading into the space. Mine going off, destroying shields on that group of Zealots. But again, just SCVs forced to defend here, and White Ra is killing a lot of them. He's having Strelok retreating now. What is he going to do? He's really going to need a tank, and here's the first tank, and maybe a couple of Vultures, so please keep this tank alive, Strelok. Mine going down in the midst of those Dragoons. Hopefully he gets one mine going off. There's one Dragoon gone down. But still 2 Dragoons left alive in the space. He should be able to polish them off with his tank, but he's sieging up further away. Vulture trying to come in and put some mines, but the Dragoon micro of White Rise is very good here, actually taking out all of the mines, killing the Vulture. He's going to be able to kill even more SCVs here. Strelok's starting to run low on SCVs. He's definitely not got as many worker units as White Rise does back at home.